right, guys, I'm back. Took quite a hiatus from the channel. Some unfortunate things in life financially, but hey, I'm powering through it and been working my ass off, working long hours, so just mentally, physically pretty drained and haven't had time or the energy to even want to do a video, but I'm getting to a point where I'm going to be back at it. So I've been wanting to do a little bit more of an in-depth, full-scale review of this pistol here. As you can see, it's a Springfield Armory weapon. The XDM Elite in 10mm, the 4.5-inch model. You know, I had the original XDM 5.25-inch barrel, 10mm. And that was a great gun. I loved it. It was just a bit big for packing on my hip when I was hunting. You know, fishing and hiking it was fine, but hunting it just was a little bit big on my hip and my pack and my rifle, and so I went and got the XDM Elite 3.8 model when it came out, and that gun's great too. A matter of fact, I'd like to have another one for actually concealing. But it was just a little snappy, didn't have the capacity I wanted. It just didn't work for my needs. I'm not saying anything bad about either of those two models. I think they're great guns. This is the one that I found that just fits me perfectly. Anyway, yeah, it's a 4.5-inch model. Optic cut, fiber optic, front sight, U-notch rear. Of course, Springfield, you got your grip safety, trigger safety, flat face trigger, a very, very light trigger and quick reset. And we'll see if I can get this in the shot here. So, not a lot of take up, easy break, quick reset, right there. So, great trigger, quick reset, and the sole purpose I carry this, where I hunt and fish and hike, at the very least, there's mountain lions, black bears, and wolves. The majority of the time where I do hunt and spend my time, there's lots and lots of grizzly bears. And I don't know if you're familiar with Rocky Mountain grizzly bears, but they are not friendly. They're very ornery. They're not as big as like coastal brown bears because of food supply, and that's why they're ornery, is there's not as much food supply, so they're not very happy bears, and they will smack the skin off your face. So I carry this. I wanted a striker fired semi-automatic pistol. I didn't want a revolver, for one, capacity, two, how quickly you can shoot and fire it. My best friend has a .44 Magnum Taurus. That's a sweet gun, but man, that thing is a freaking hand cannon, and it hurts. It rocks your wrist to shoot it. It only holds 6 rounds, and you can't shoot it as quickly. And you know, when a bear charges you, you don't got a whole lot of time. You got seconds to make shots count. And I feel with this setup, this kind of a pistol, whether it be Glock 20, the new SIG, or any 10mm striker fired polymer pistol, you're going to get capacity, quicker trigger time, get more rounds off, less recoil. It's just a great setup. I think that's why it's become so increasingly popular, especially like up in Alaska, you know, where they got all kinds of bears. But anyways, this is it's a 15-round mag, and I got the 2-round extension that comes with it popped on there, so it's 17 rounds. So with one in the tube, I get 18 rounds of 10mm, and currently I got 180 grain Buffalo Bore hollow points in here. I'm going to be switching to it's either 200 or 220 grain hard cast. With these big old grizzly bears, I want more penetration. That thick chest plate and skull, you need penetration. You go 3-4 inches in, sometimes that ain't enough to stop them. You got to hit a vital organ, you got to hit a brain, you got to hit a heart to stop them. I mean, you get an 800-900 pound boar grizzly charging down on you. I'm not saying even 10mm. I mean, ideally, you know, you want something bigger, but this, in my opinion, is the most well-rounded type of firearm for bear defense. But you got to get as many shots off as you can and place them as best you can. But right now, like I said, 180 grain buffalo bore hollow points on there. This originally had the flared magwell on it, and I took that off. Originally, I didn't like the way it felt on my hand right here, and I didn't really like it aesthetically. I thought it was ugly. This is not a combat pistol for me, so I don't... If I burn through 18 rounds of 10 millimeter and have to do a tactical reload on a grizzly bear, I don't even know what kind of situation I'm in. That's something, I mean, first of all, it's pretty much unlikely. And even if that's the case, if you haven't deterred or put down that threat within 18 rounds of this setup, you're dead. You're going to die. So I got rid of that magwell. And then I also got this Hogue pistol grip, which is actually meant for the Springfield XD series pistols. They don't make a XDM fit. That's exactly meant for this. I'll actually grab my XD over here. And I've done a video on this in the past. But on the XD, in your magwell, there's a little crevice right there. And there's that knob that fits right down into that, which is, it's perfect for the XD. Well, on the XDM model here, there's no crevice, there's no opening in there. So what I did is I just took a razor knife and trimmed that off and popped it on here, and it takes a little work to get it on there, but it fits perfectly. And I have just gotten to the point now with my full-size pistols, and at the moment I only have Springfield pistols. Not that they don't have great ergonomics and fit well in your hand, because they do, but these just make a world of difference. I got bigger mitts. I wouldn't say like I have giant hands, but I have good sized hands, and it helps me really get my hands wrapped around that, and it's got a good texture to it. I got a good grasp. I feel confident drawing it from the holster, maintaining a solid grip while firing. I recommend this. So even if you have an XDM and you want to get a Hogue grip, that's what you do. And it rides well, it fits well, it's worked really good for me. What else? You know, I haven't put a ton of rounds through this gun yet. 10 millimeters expensive, and I got this, oh gosh, maybe 3 or 4 months ago, maybe a little longer than that. And that's kind of when I ran into some financial issues, so I really wasn't buying a lot of 10 millimeters. So not a ton of rounds through the barrel, but enough. It shoots well. It's accurate. I really love these U-notched sights. Their U-notch sights are on their XDM Elite models and like the Hellcat. I like that U-notch. And of course the fiber optic front, I mean, that illuminates so well. It's so easy for your eye to catch. The only issue, you know, sometimes when I'm going hunting up on the Rocky Mountain front here in Montana, we go in the dark, and I won't lie, it's a bit spooky, because it's, I mean, when I say there's a lot of grizzly bears where I hunt, there is a lot of grizzly bears. It's on your mind the entire time when you're hunting, and I've gone in the dark and had animals, luckily they turned out to be deer or a raccoon or something, rummaging through the brush in the pitch black 15 yards away from you, and I'll just say it makes your knees a little shaky. But I am going to get a weapons light and a holster that will fit this gun with a weapons light on here, just for that reason. Just haven't gotten to it yet. But yeah, I think it's a great looking gun, great shooting gun. I highly recommend it. Like I said, not that I put a ton of rounds through it, but no malfunctions at all. Runs perfect every time, goes bang every time. You can get on other channels and watch guys that have put 1,000, 2,000 plus rounds through these things and not one hiccup. They just chug. And I won't lie, I think Springfield makes some of the most aesthetically pleasing not only pistols, just firearms in general, whether it's their ARs or their M1As or anything. I like their 1911s. I have yet to get one of their 1911s. That's on my bucket list. But yeah, good trigger, great gun, accurate, highly recommended. Any questions or concerns or anything you guys have about this gun, if you're looking into buying it, feel free to shoot me not a message, put a question down in the comments, and I'll definitely answer you. My channel's not real huge, so it's easy for me to respond to everybody. This is a hobby for me, and I enjoy it. I love talking guns, so yeah, that's it. The Springfield XDM Elite 4.5-inch model and 10mm. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time.